Yo guys, what's up, it's Krypz, and today I'm going to be showing you all the Thorn Warlock Set. Now you can obtain this set from the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, which is included in the anniversary pack, and in this video I'll be showing you the entire set with different armor and exotic combinations, as well as some of the best shaders on the set, so I will leave some timestamps on screen if you want to skip ahead. But yeah, by the time this video is out it'll be very close to Christmas time, so I do wish you all a happy holiday, and without further delay, it's time we get straight into the set. So here's the full set on a female warlock. Now unfortunately for some of you, this set is mostly asymmetrical, with the gloves being the only piece that appears the same on both sides, and this set has the same glow issue as the hunter set. As you can see with one of the brightest glow shaders in the game, Gambit Jadestone, it only creates a glow on the outline, whereas with other shaders like Jacarina it will glow properly. Now anyways, I'm going to be looking at the individual armor pieces, starting off with the helmet. Now I personally really like the design of this helmet, and especially with shaders like Archeos skin, it can create a really nice hive look. Now if you wanted to use this helmet with a different set of robes, then I would recommend the Scorned Baron. This fits really well with the hive theme, and you can obtain it right now from Ledged Engrams. Now with this set I also went and used the gauntlets and created a somewhat bone look on the plating. Now the other pieces I used here were Steeplechase, which fit really well with this bone look. If you have the robes, then I'd also recommend using this. Now if you're not a huge fan of this helmet and like to use the Crown of Tempest exotic, then I'd also recommend the Diadem of Deceit ornament. Now here I'm using the Flawless shader from the dungeon, and it does flow really well with these robes, but you can see that this also works really well with many different shaders, and this is easily what I'd say is the best exotic ornament you can use with the set. Now you can also pair this with the Verity's Brow exotic, although you can't shader the bone or the glow, so I would recommend shaders like Archeos skin, and there's also the Skull of Dire Amakara, and without the ornament I would recommend using Dreaming Spectrum, although if you do have the Hateful Wish ornaments then you can just pair this with any shader. Now anyways, moving on to the gloves, like I mentioned at the start, these are the only symmetrical piece. I overall love the sharp aesthetic, and these do look pretty awesome when holstering a bow, and with shaders like Gambit Emerald and Iridescent Coral, these stand out quite nicely. I don't really have any complaints with this as they are quite nice in design, although if I were to add anything then I would add some scales to the fingertips and the knuckles. Then moving on, we have the robes. Now this is personally my favourite piece of the set, and like I showed earlier, one of my favourite looks with this is with the Diadem of Deceit ornament. Now with this sort of robe design, you can pair this with the Necrotic Grip exotic. The glows coming off the gauntlets match really well with the bond as well, and something else I also found to work with some shaders with the Claws of Ahamkara. Now I did find with some shaders that you will get two different colours on the leather, so you will need to be careful with some shaders with this. Now moving on to the boots, you can see that they have a normal design, except going towards the top you have a bit of a different texture with some scaling on the knees. Now unlike with the robes, you will only get one colour on the leather, and then the scaling on the knees shaders the exact same way as on the helmet, shoulders and gauntlets. These boots overall are nothing too crazy, and I could see a lot of people using Skelegore to create a blackout look with this. And then moving on to the bonds, like I mentioned earlier, the bonds will always remain this green glow. It's not too bad in design, although I do think this will only work in Necrotic Hive looks. So yeah, they're pretty much all the fun pieces for the Warlock. I personally think this is the best set of the three characters. All the pieces are really great and can be used in some way, but yeah, I'd love to hear what you all think in the comments below. And now it's time to move on to what I think are some of the best shaders on the set. Starting off with Archeos skin from the Festival of the Lost event. This is easily one of the best shaders for a hive look. Then moving on, we have Featured Copper from this season's Gambit. This creates a really unique scaly texture on the plating, although this does remove the glows which some of you may prefer. Then next we have Amrita's Dream from this season's pass, which is really good for making an almost all white look. If you really want an all white look though, I would instead recommend Bitter Pearl from the Pearl of Glass Triumph in the Vault of Glass raid. Then next we have Rose Scale from this season's Crucible. This is great for any of you newer to the game and looking for a nice red, and on plating this shader does create a carbon fibre texture. Then next we have Reef Regalia, which was sold this season in the Bright Dust store. One of the easiest shaders to use and also looks pretty good on this set. Then next we have Omnicronia and Continuum Alloy from the Victory Over the Vault bundle. Unfortunately the bundle is no longer obtainable, although Omnicronia looks really great on the set. Then next we have Testudo from Season of the Chosen, and what I really like about this shader is the look it creates on the plating, and something similar to this is Peat Bog Boogie, which is also another shader from Season of the chosen. Then next we have 7 Sisters, which can sometimes be sold in the Brightness store. It would have been really nice to see this galaxy texture going throughout all the leather on the robes, but unfortunately we'll have some yellows and browns coming through. Now another shader from the Brightness store which is really good for a dark look is Abyssinian Gold. Unfortunately, just like the Hunter set does turn off the glows, I think this would have looked really awesome if the glows were to appear a bright red. Now a shader that does create a nice red glow is Horizon's Blush, which is from the Season of the Hunt pass, and this for me is easily one of the best shaders you can use on the entire set. I just wish Bungie changed it so that the bond would change glow color as well. Now here is Carbon Blood from the Brightness store. Really nice dark look with some light glows throughout the set. It only adds a little bit of red on the robes and also the bond. Now there is also Raspberry which shaders perfectly as well. There doesn't appear to be any issues with the glow, and the contrast this creates on the plating looks really nice. And similar to this we have Jacarina. The only issues with this shader is that it does create a lighter blue on the leather, although I think the helmet looks absolutely amazing with this. Now for any of you which really like your blackout looks, here are some of the best black shaders on the set. Start off with Skellige from the Festival of the Lost event. Then next we have Amethyst Veil from the Brightness store. Again, the same sort of glow issue as Skellige, and this does also introduce some blues. Then we have Refurbished Black Armory, which I'd say is the best black shader on this, and it's also New Age Black Armory, which does incorporate some more reds. Both of these shaders were from Forges, so they are unfortunately no longer obtainable. And another one I want to show you all is Shrouded Stripes from a Forsaken promotion, and this shade is a bit different, creating a dark look with a zebra-like texture on the plating as well as the cloth. Then next we have Dreaming Spectrum, which is great for a bone look. This shader, just like Dreaming Cast, is from the Last Wish raid, and if you do like the look of Dreaming Spectrum, then I would also recommend Gambit Suede. This is really great if you want more of that bone look throughout all the pieces. Then one of my personal favourite purples on this is Begiza Night. It's a really nice purple shader that creates these really unique symbols on the plating, and also dims and brightens on the cloth. Then for some final golds, we have Gold Leaf and Golden Empire from the Menagerie, but my absolute favourite gold on all of these pieces has to be Callus's Treasured, which was from the Prestige Leviathan raid and is unfortunately no longer obtainable. But yeah, they're pretty much all the best armor pieces and shaders on the set. Let me know your favourite armor pieces and shaders to use with this, and if you want to, you can go ahead and send me them in my Discord. I will leave a link to it near the top of the description. But yeah, I really hope this video helped you all out, and if it did, then please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and an extra thank you to all my YouTube members for the amazing support. Stay safe, and I hope you all have a happy holiday.